Overheard wife and sister talk about my penis WTF? My sister, 16F, is currently visiting us me, 30M, and wife, 28F. I work from home on a different time zone than ours, so my bedtimes are kind of hectic. Today after waking up from sleep, my wife and sister were in the kitchen and I overheard them talking about my junk. Tried to sneak in order to jump scare them and they were talking about penises. I think, do girls do that a lot? And I remember hearing my wife saying that mine was too small for her but it gets the job done. His penis is small for me but it gets the job done, which he do because she was always saying it's big and during sex there never was any size issue. My sister laughed, then wife told her that she can show it to her on the phone, which made me want to intervene before she actually does show it to her, so I went back to the room and made it sure this time they heard me walking towards the kitchen. Now it's kind of playing on my mind. How is she talking about my unit so casually to my sister? Do girls do this a lot or is this something abnormal? And why was she okay with showing it to my 16-year sister? I kind of want to confront her about it but I'd what to say. My fiancé says I'm too fat to touch. My fiancé, M34, me F32, has basically told me I'm too fat for him to touch. And I haven't gained any weight since we met. I noticed he never touches my waist, hips, butt or thighs. He's always made excuses for this, like he's shy, nervous or inexperienced, finds it difficult to express himself. Everything else was great between us and he is very caring, etc. So I believed him and thought things would improve with time. One day I finally lay on top of him and guided his hands down to my butt, thinking he was just too shy to take the initiative. He immediately let go as if repulsed. Made up some excuse. I told him to touch me that area in future, still didn't. I really grilled him about this. I expected him to say he's just not a butt guy, but he said no, he likes women's butts. Eventually, and after many contradictory lies, he reluctantly said he prefers smaller butts and legs. I am a size 6/8 US size in pants. Skinnier up top. I asked him what size I would need to be for him to be attracted enough to my butt to be able to touch it. He said a size 4. He doesn't know women's sizes though, and from his descriptions he would like even thinner, like size 0 or less. He has a tiny butt, even compared to most men. He is like XS in pant size, so I said, compared to your butt what size would you like? And he said, well, mine has a bit of fat on, as if that was ideal and any more fat would be gross. I said yours barely has any fat at all. And he said a woman could have a bit more fat than his. I have no hope of getting to this size. I'm so shocked as he never came across as a shallow guy at all. He seems like a really nice, caring, sensitive guy. Also, I'm the first girl he's ever had sex with, if that makes a difference. He says he's been single for so long as he was shy, skinny and has self-confidence issues due to having some very slight disability which affects his looks, which I won't mention here to keep anonymous, which isn't a big deal at all, he just thinks it is. In our conversation he also randomly said, without me bringing it up, he will never do oral because he is scared of throat cancer. He just told me this a couple of days ago. I am completely devastated and crying a lot. I mean, your boyfriend is the one person that's supposed to think you're beautiful, right? He is not telling me to lose the weight BTW. Which I guess is good. He says it doesn't matter, it doesn't bother him, he loves me, he's attracted to me, don't lose weight and I am overreacting. I know I'm no model but neither is he, and all my previous boyfriends touched me everywhere, complimented me and made me feel beautiful. Now I just feel really ugly. Also I struggle to get turned on without being really touched. Say he could touch me if I was a size 4 and I lost the weight. He really wants us to have kids. What will he do if I get pregnant and then struggle to lose all the baby weight? Or just put on a bit of weight as I age as most do? Will he not be able to touch any single part of me then? It makes me so sad, as I personally would not care if his weight changed as he gets older, even if he became a bit overweight. This is just part of life. We live together, about to get married. Everything else in the relationship is perfect and we want the same things in life. I thought he was the one and before this could see myself having kids with him. WTF do I do? He wants me to just get over this. Can I? I have breast implants and BF thinks they're real. I don't know if I should tell him the truth. It's been eating me alive. I had my breast augmentation done about 10 years ago. Met my current partner and we were talking about past relationships. He told me that he went out on blind dates and rejected girls because they have no boobs. He said that he got lucky with me because I'm pretty and have nice, big boobs. He also talked about how nice that mine is not fake/augmented because he have seen fake boobs before and they don't look as nice. It's really eating me alive and I don't know how to tell him the truth. What do I do? Update. Wow, just wow. I didn't know my question will blow up. I think the reason why he thinks they're real is because I was able to breastfeed our son. I touch my boobs all the time and they are pretty soft and the cut was around my nipple area and healed perfectly and can't even tell there were stitches before. It feels a little hard when I'm laying on my back, so I try not to do that when we're sleeping together. I always sleep on my side. I know I have to replace them at some point, but for now I'll keep it my little secret. Thanks for all your input. Much love. I am a woman who was falsely accused of a crime. It ruined my life. Every time I've read about false accusations on the internet, it's always been a story about a woman accusing a man. I want people to hear my story. When I was 18, I took a high school photography class with mostly freshmen. Since I was a transfer student, I had to make up credits most seniors had already finished. I had my locker in the freshman hallway and ate lunch with the younger students because that's where the school had space for me. Most of my friends were freshmen and sophomores and I didn't think anything of it. My mental illnesses have left me a bit emotionally stunted, so I always felt immature for my age. At the time, my psychiatrist was trying to find medication that would cure my panic attacks. I was taking a lot of prescription sedatives that made my brain fuzzy. It was hard to focus or retain detailed memories. It felt like I was a little drunk all the time. One day when we didn't have school, a boy from my class invited me to hang out at his grandma's house. He had some chairs and a TV set up in the garage. I remember him being verbally flirtatious, and the next moment, I was on the floor with my pants down. I tried to get up but felt the weight of him holding me down as he inserted something I couldn't see. He was younger, but taller and heavier than me. I tried to shake it off like a bad dream, but the next day I was bleeding and in pain, so I went to the school nurse and told her what happened. Biggest mistake of my life. She told the police. I gave my side of the story to a female officer and she went to interview the boy, who told her I wanted it. Imagine my surprise when I got a notice in the mail that I was being charged with felony criminal misconduct with a minor. The boy was a few months under the age of consent. A year of legal battles followed. My therapist defended my innocence, mentioning her concern about my unusually low drive. The boy's own parents spoke in my defense as well, telling the judge that he had brought other girls home when he wasn't supposed to. It didn't matter. The prosecuting attorney told me that if I really believed I was innocent, I could take the case to trial, but if I lost, I could face 5 years in prison and time on the registry. If I pled guilty, I'd get a stay of adjudication, the charge would drop off my record after 5 years, and I could continue my life on unsupervised probation. I was 19 then and had just been accepted into college. I took the plea because I was terrified of being locked up. I just wanted to move far away from that place and be a normal teenager. I didn't fully grasp that the charge would never really go away. During the pandemic, my grandpa died and I inherited enough money to apply for an expungement. I defended myself and won my case in a virtual hearing, but it's still not completely gone. My FBI background check states there may be arrest data on file, though it doesn't say why. I'm now in a long-distance relationship and worried we will never be able to live in the same place. His country requires a clean police certificate, and if I apply to sponsor him to come to the US, I have to declare my sex charge on the application and prove that I'm without a reasonable doubt no danger to my partner. I'm not a danger to anyone. This event left me so scarred that I've never been able to let someone touch me intimately without pain. My current BF has been very patient and understanding, but many other relationships have ended because of my lack of desire. The guy who hurt me is married now. He gets to be with the person he loves. It's not fair. After almost 2 years of consistent dieting and exercise, as of today I am officially 200 pounds down, from 455 to 255. I never thought I could do it. I've struggled with my weight pretty much since I was 11 years old. That's when I really started to notice I was putting on the weight. At 12 years old I was 200 pounds and I started high school at 260 a few years later. I ate my feelings all through high school. My home was horrible. I didn't go out and hang out. I was shy and uncomfortable in public, and so all I did was play video games and eat. I graduated high school at 364, over 10 years ago now. I put on almost 100 pounds since high school, up to the point I started this journey in late 2021. I yo-yo dieted for years, losing the same 60 to 70 pounds 3 times, but never being able to fully commit and always gain back more than I lost. A few years ago I had a severe panic attack at work and genuinely thought I might be dying and decided enough was enough. I can either give in now and quit complaining and never put up a fight, or I can take back my life and take control of my destiny and shape it into what I want. I started the day after Thanksgiving 2021 and immediately cut out all caffeine and added sugars. I figured caffeine was not helping with the anxiety and blood pressure, so that's why I did that. Added sugars is obvious, nobody needs that. Things like sodas and candies and Little Debbie's had to go. By New Year's of 2022 I was down to 429. 2022 was a bit of slow progress year, but progress was made. I hit under 400 pounds by May of 2022 and by August of 2022 I was 380s. September is when I really started to take it to the next level, as I started really upping my walking and started lifting weights as well. From September of last year to December of last year I went from 378 to 339. Walking on average close to 400,000 steps a month. At this point this is when people started to really notice and make comments on my weight loss. Especially at work. I get tired of talking about it, but I just smiled and nodded saying thanks and give a brief synopsis of what I did. I hit under 300 for the first time in my adult life March 15, 2023. That was an emotional day. The last few months I've really dug in. I got a bike that I can ride, first time riding a bike since I was a young kid, and go for 2-hour-long rides twice a week and have been doing that for a few months now. I lift weights twice a day and still try to eat as well as I can and walk as much as I can. There's a lot more to the story and backstory, but I doubt anyone will read this much anyways, so just want to say that if you struggle with your weight you are not alone and that you can lose it. It just takes a little effort. Change comes when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of making the change.